Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this presentation of colors by the Heritage High School Color Guard representing the United States Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Barrett Morris and Senior Master Sergeant Jeff Jacobson. Please join me in congratulating our Heritage JROTC for earning the Distinguished Unit Award with Merit during the 2019-20 school year.
Carry, colors. Reset, colors. Order, colors.
On behalf of the Liberty Union High School District, the senior class of 2020, as well as the faculty and staff of Heritage High School, I welcome the Heritage community and their guests to the graduation ceremonies honoring the 13th graduating class of Heritage High School. At this time, I would like to thank the Liberty Union High School Board of Trustees, President of the Board for the Liberty Union High School District, Mrs. Yolanda Pena Mendrick, Board Clerk, Mrs. Pauline Allred, Board members, Mr. Roy Jageri, Mr. Eric Stonebarger, Mr. Raymond Valverde. I would also like to thank our Superintendent, Mr. Eric Volta. Class of 2020, 4 short years ago, you were freshmen starting your high school journey and beginning to create your legacy here at Heritage High School. This past fall, as we envisioned graduation ceremonies, none of us could have imagined that your principal would be standing in a recording studio addressing you virtually instead of gathered with you as a class, braving the typical nighttime wind and cold of Patriot Stadium. I know that all of you have experienced moments of sorrow over the last 9 weeks, and while it is important to look sorrow in the eye and acknowledge it, it is equally important to not be married to sorrow. The poet Rilke wrote, "Perhaps somewhere, someplace deep inside your being, you have undergone important changes while you were sad." Seniors, my challenge to each of you is to reflect on the important changes you have undergone this past quarter that will positively impact your future. While this year's commencement is not being held in the traditional manner, it is still an exciting time and a moment to celebrate this milestone in your lives. The changes to the end of your senior year have tested your resilience and resolve. You have been physically away from campus, teachers, and friends, yet you have learned to connect virtually while being flexible and adaptable. You graduate with a strong academic foundation, having fulfilled the 270 graduation credit requirement, many fulfilling the UC A to G requirements. This academic foundation is made unique by your individual talents, and together they have prepared you to move on to the next chapter in your lives. You are an amazing group of future leaders who I have been privileged to enjoy every minute of the last 4 years with. Congratulations, class of 2020. I am proud to recognize the many seniors who have distinguished themselves with various accomplishments during their time at Heritage. These graduates received honor cords, tassels, stoles, and medallions, which are clearly identified in your commencement program. I now have the pleasure of introducing this year's senior spokespersons, Isabella Meadows and Taya Ross.
12 years of hard work and 12 years of imagining the day we would walk across the stage and flip the tassel. And now we are in the moment that 12 years ago felt an infinity away. The moment that just 4 years ago, we rolled our eyes when people told us it would be here in the blink of an eye. Class of 2020, we should be proud of ourselves. Not only are we here, but we are resiliently and memorably here. Can any other Heritage class tell their children someday about their unique postponed graduation, a creative virtual senior banquet, dressing up for a digital prom? We may not have had the senior year our little 8-year-old or 16-year-old minds had ever pictured, but we've had a senior year that has taught us a little lesson for life. The roads we envision for ourselves, the plans we make, don't always happen the way we expect them to. Sometimes our paths veer in another direction, and that is perfectly okay, because sometimes it's the unexpected paths that bring you the most joy or growth, or that teach you a little bit about yourself, about others, and about life. We are here today because of our own dedication, commitment, responsibility, sacrifices, and hard work. But we are also here today because of the people whom we would wave to as we were to walk across that stage. To all our teachers, parents, grandparents, friends, siblings, coaches. To all the people who have shaped the 17 and 18-year-olds sitting here today. We thank you for your tireless and selfless sacrifices, unending support, and for showing us your unconditional love. Each of us here today has the capability to live a beautiful, impactful, and meaningful life. Each of us will make the world a better place, whether through art, teaching, engineering, medicine, business, whatever it is that lights a passionate spark in your heart. Share your spark with others. Illuminate the world. Remember that you are enough the way you are. You are worthy, you are valuable, you are capable, and you are full of potential. You are the Heritage Class of 2020. You are making history, and you will be remembered. Congratulations, my fellow class of 2020.
Thank you, Principal Wells. Welcome family, friends, HHS faculty, and most importantly, the class of 2020. It is my honor to be speaking to you today. You know, I'm not going to stand up here and act like I don't have this speech memorized, because I do. But I am going to sidetrack from it a little bit, because in this time of uncertainty that we have faced in the last few months, I believe that we need some genuine honesty in our conversations. So I'm going to be honest. I was scared. And I know some of you were too. Or maybe you were angry, in denial, depressed, anxious, or so many other emotions. And you have a right to feel that way. We have felt as if our senior year was taken from us, and we did not see that coming. But look around you. We still made it to graduation. We're still able to come together today to celebrate the perseverance we've had not only throughout our high school career, but throughout this pandemic that has hit our world. Let me ask you something. Who else can say that they beat the odds against a global virus and still made it to graduation looking good? Who else can say that they were bold enough during quarantine to cut or dye their hair or get bangs because we were so bored? Who else can say that they basically beat the zombie apocalypse? Who else can have our story? No one, and we hope no other class has to. So here's to the memories we made. From our last back-to-school dance, to our last rally, our last prom, and the last day we stood on the Heritage campus. If you knew all that would have been our last, would you have laid against the wall and not asked that person to the dance? Would you have skipped that rally and not got up to chant with us? Knowing that that would be your last opportunity, would you have made a different choice? I know I would have. This is a lesson in enjoying what we have. Go out into the world and be bold and be present. So, if you all would do me the extraordinary honor of chanting with me one last time, it goes a little something like this. I believe that
I believe that
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Thank you, Patriots, for one memorable high school experience.
The salutatorian for Heritage High's class of 2020 is Adam Chan. Adam graduates with a GPA of 4.37 and is on his way to UCLA to major in business economics with the goal of a career in finance and banking. Adam is a member of CSF and NHS, currently serving as National Honor Society Secretary. He is a member of both the varsity water polo team and swim team at Heritage. Outside of school, Adam has been a longtime member of Boy Scouts of America, earning the rank of Eagle Scout. Congratulations, Adam, on being named Salutatorian for Heritage High School's class of 2020.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to start off by congratulating my fellow classmates on this momentous achievement. I hope you take pride in all the hard work and dedication you put in leading up to this moment. At first, I wasn't upset about the odd ending to our senior year, telling myself it didn't matter too much, that I was okay with missing senior ball, grad night, and graduation. I told myself that we were on to bigger things, with our whole lives ahead of us, and I believed it too. But with quarantine giving me nothing but time to reflect, I realized just how much I'm going to miss high school. Hanging out after school, waking up at 4 a.m. and rushing to practice so your coach wouldn't yell at you. Forgetting if it's an A or B day. Getting those late night texts at 11 asking, "Did you do the homework?" I would never get to relive the memories I loved. I would never get to hear the question, how do you balance sleep, a social life, and school, and have to give the same reply, what's sleep and who's a social life? I can safely say I graduated with no regrets, and I hope you can say the same. While the last quarter of our senior year was out of our control, if I could go back and redo everything that's happened so far, I wouldn't change a thing. All the good memories and all the bad, everything I've experienced and all the bonds I've formed, I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. As corny and silly as it may sound, I truly believe I've become a better person from knowing all of you. I have the confidence to say that the class of 2020's future is bright, and in the face of struggle, we will come out on top, one way or another. The world post-COVID-19 will be very different, and things will need time to return to normal. In this period of healing, we need to be united more than ever. We need to trust each other and rely on one another to make it through. This way, I guarantee our class will succeed. I can already see the future after all, with 2020 vision. And if there's anything I can't stand, it's goodbyes. So don't think of this as a goodbye, it's a see you soon.
The valedictorian for the Heritage High Class of 2020 is Nike Brima. Nike graduates with a GPA of 4.40 and will be attending Yale University this fall to double major in economics and African American studies. Nike's talents are displayed both in his academics and extracurricular activities. He is a National Merit Commended Scholar, National AP Scholar, and Telluride Association Scholar. In addition, Nike is this year's Senior Class President, Black Student Union President, and Treasurer for National Honor Society. In addition to his dedication to school organizations, Nike has served his community as an intern for State Assemblyman Jim Frazier, a Kumon tutor, and as a staff writer for The New Voice, a youth-led news and media organization. Without a doubt, his positive leadership on campus and in the community foreshadows his future goal of becoming a civil rights attorney. Congratulations, Nike, on being named valedictorian for Heritage High School's class of 2020.
Hi everyone. I'd like to start off by thanking the people who have helped me through my education. Thank you to my teachers, who helped me realize the power of learning. Thank you to my sisters, who have always been my biggest supporters. And of course, thank you to my mom for teaching me what it means to be an adult. But I would just as much like to thank each and every one of you, my fellow members of the class of 2020. I'm sure this is not how many of us expected our graduation to be. In fact, I'm sure this is not how many of us expected our senior year to end. With the current pandemic, our plans and goals have shifted more than any of us could have imagined, and I know that some of us have faced tremendous struggle and loss during this time. But despite the challenges of this pandemic, I've seen you all do amazing things. I've seen you use 3D printing to create and deliver masks to hospitals. I've seen you hold spirit weeks to help us feel more connected to our school, even when we're so far apart. And I've seen you be extraordinarily kind to one another, organizing mini parades, writing encouraging chalk messages, and holding photo shoots, 6 feet apart, of course. When we look back at all that we've done during this pandemic, it becomes impossible to think of the class of 2020 as a class marked by tragedy. Instead, we have to remember the class of 2020 as a class marked by our courage, adaptability, compassion, creativity, and resilience. As we continue through our lives, things will not become easy. We'll face little challenges, like learning to file taxes, living away from home for the first time, or not getting that job that we wanted. And we'll face big challenges, heartbreak, uncertainty, and failure. But I know there is no class in Heritage history more prepared to persevere through whatever challenges are thrown at us. I am so honored to be a part of this historic class full of amazing people. I know all of you have the spark, the potential, and the heart to make your place in the world. And more importantly, I know that whatever challenge we may face, whether big or small, whether professional or personal, and whether collectively or as individuals, we will come out of it on the other side, stronger and more connected than before. Thank you, Class of 2020, for your inspiration, for your friendship, and for making us one of the most special classes in Heritage history.
Now, our senior class president, Nike Brima, will present the gift from the class of 2020 to future generations of patriots.
On behalf of the Class of 2020, I wish to donate $7,500 to help fund the Class of 2021's senior ball, $8,000 to be spent on a new Uncle Pat mascot to increase school spirit, and $5,000 to be spent on a mural to both commemorate the Class of 2020 and help to beautify our campus. Thank you.
Please welcome our Associated Student Body President, Sarah Smith, who will lead the Class of 2020 in the time-honored tradition of turning the tassels.
With the Class of 2020, please join me in turning our tassels from right to left. Congratulations.
Now, will the members of the Class of 2020 please stand? Mrs. Yolanda Pena Mendrick, I am honored to present to you the members of the graduating class of 2020. I certify each student has met all the requirements to graduate as specified by our board policies and in accordance with the Education Code of the State of California. Mrs. Yolanda Pena Mendrick, your class of 2020.
Principal Wells, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I accept this graduating class of 2020.
Thank you.